Hello, and today we're going to have a little look at the book of Judges in the Old Testament. Now, the book of Judges, it was apparently a time when there was no kings of Israel, so they only had judges. So judges wrote down a few things, and they became part of the Bible. And we're going to be looking at this particular man who has no name, and I'm not surprised really, but we'll come to that later. And later we'll see that he was obviously the main witness in what was said, and I assume that he spoke to a judge who wrote it all down, and I also assume the conversation must have gone something like this, you know. So to tell me your story. Anyway, right. Well, it's like this. My wife, or concubine, she's a bit like a wife, but not quite a wife. Doesn't really have any of the sort of things that my wife would have, which wasn't a lot anyway. None of the rights sort of thing. A bit more of a slave, really. But I decided to take her on, and she left me. She left me and went to live with her dad in Bethlehem, and basically she was a whore. That was basically it. And a bit of an argument, and she decided to sort of go live with her dad. So anyway, I waited for her to come back, obviously, 4 months in fact, and by this time I was not only missing the ironing, but I was running out of money, to be honest. And anyway, I decided to go and get her. I thought, she's not coming back, I'll have to go and get her. So I just made a trip to see her dad in Bethlehem. Took all of my servants with me, a couple of asses. And there we went, popped off. He was happy to see me, the old dad. Hello, he says, come on in, have a bit of bread, and we'll have a little discussion. And he was really happy to see me, and I'm not surprised really, because she's a bit of a pain. Anyway, so basically the next day, I thought, well, come on, I'm taking her back, take her back. And her dad said, no, don't go yet. Have a bit more bread, have a bit more to drink, and stop the night. And I thought, oh well, he's been really nice, so I'll leave it at that. Really, I'll wait till tomorrow. So anyway, second day comes along, and basically he said, oh, don't go yet. And I've had some more bread and have some more wine and a bit more drink. And then he said, it's getting a bit late. And why don't you stay the night? So I said, all right. Why not? I was on holiday. And anyway, third night, same thing. Third day, he wanted me to stay again. So third day, I thought, all right then. Fourth day, he's practically begging me to stay there. I've got to go home, I'm running out of money back at home, and people are expecting me to turn up again with her, But the fourth, I thought, he's such a nice guy. I'll leave it tonight. And fifth day, right? He starts again. Fifth day, gets to, and he's giving it the old, oh, come on, stay with me. And I said, no, look, mate, I've got to go. I'll stay for lunch, and it's getting a bit late. I've got to get home. It's quite a long journey back to the side of the mountain that I live in, because I'm a Levite and live in this sort of mountain area. And I wear the jeans and everything, the blue cotton. Well, basically I said, sod it, I'm off, and I grabbed her, went off, stuck on a horse, we went off. But it was getting a bit late. And we weren't that far, sort of, from Jerusalem. It was called something else in those days, but it was Jerusalem. And he said, should we stay here? My servant wanted to stay there, and I said, no, horrible there, full of bloody foreigners, the whole bloody place is awful. No, let's find a nice Jewish place. So it was getting a bit dark, but stuff it, we went on to the next place. So anyway, we ended up in Gibeah. Now, nice Jewish place. Thought, that's all right, we'll go to Gibeah. And better than that bloody foreign stuff, So we'll find some nice people there. We didn't actually book, which was a problem, because it was getting a bit dark. So we stood around in the town square for a bit, and we knocked on a few doors and said, oi, we're Jews, can we come in, and we're going to stay with you. you know, because it's our right, as obviously we are Jewish. And they said piss off, basically. And we thought, we said, on, they're the same as us, you know. Well, not like bloody foreigners over in Jerusalem. And, well, I was a bit put out really. I tried another door and said, oi, let us in. Come on, let us in. Let us stay the night, because we're all the same, you know. And I'd do the same for you if you ever seem to be on the side of that mountain. Then I'd let you in, you know. I'd put it up here. Anyway, they said sod off again. So I thought, oh, that's a bit much. So we sort of stood around for a bit, thinking it's getting a bit dark. This rate, we'll have to go and stop in the old temple. That's not so good, is it? So anyway, luckily there was this old geezer there, this old bloke, and he says, "Hey, where are you from?" I said, "Yeah, Solace Mountain up the road here." And he said, I was born there. That's where I came from." And I went, "Oh, that's nice. Can we stay with you?" He said, "Yeah, of course you can." And he put us up, sort of like that, so, which was nice. But it just goes to prove, doesn't it? No bloody foreigners. Anyway, there we were having a bit of the old booze and a bit of the old bread, and there's this real row outside. It was terrible it was. Knocking on the door they were, and they come knocking on the door, and the old boy, you know, he goes and answers the door, and they said, "Bring that man out to us," he said. "Bring that man out, because we want to know him." "Know me?" I said, "Bloody hell, know me? I'm not having that. I know what know me means, and it's a bit of a body bandit thing. I'm not having that." I thought, this is not on at all. Anyway, luckily, this old boy said, "Don't do that. It's evil and awful and wicked thing to do, and you will all be damned," and all those sort of things. He said, "But I've got a daughter, and he's got like this concubine who's apparently, you know, does it for money, but tonight she'll do it for free for you, but don't bother my guest," which I thought was nice of him. But I couldn't let him do that, could I? I really couldn't. You know, giving his daughter over for that sort of thing. And let's face it, they didn't seem to be that interested in daughters and women. I think they were more interested in something else, you know. So anyway, I just got the old missus and threw her out the door and said, "Here, that'll do. You have her." And which yeah, saved the old man, obviously, which was nice. And stupidly, of course, I didn't realise that they weren't just body bandits. They were, in fact, Bush supporters as well. They'd screw anything. And they left us alone. So I went to bed and had a bit of a sleep, and they left us all alone. It was great. And, of course, his daughter was happy as well. But in the morning, I get up, have my breakfast, you know, and I open the door thinking, where is she? What's happened to her? And she was only lying on the doorstep with her little hands clutching at the doorstep, you know. I said, "Come on, get up." I said, "Come on, we've got to go home." And, you know, she didn't actually move. And I thought, that's a bit off. So I gave her a bit of a kick, and she still didn't move. After a while, I only realised they'd gone and done it to her, haven't they? She was only dead. I mean, crikey, didn't even get paid. They killed her. That was my livelihood up the spout from then on, really. It was a rough time for me. Anyway, I put her on one of the old donkeys, one of the old asses, and we took her back home. I mean, it did seem a bit much to leave her there. And we got home, and I had to think about it. I thought, what a wicked and evil world we live in. How can these people be so awful? People of my own kind, you know, not any old person, but I mean, I thought it was bad enough in Jerusalem, but this lot. So you might think, what happened then? Well, you know, I took her back home, and I thought, well, we're in the mountains. What can we do here? It's not really a burying place. So obviously, you know, I just chopped her up into 12 pieces, and it was a hard decision to make, but I wanted to make a statement, you see, a statement, something that people would remember. So the chopping into 12 pieces was, of course, necessary. There were 12 Jewish cities at the time, and I thought, hey, if I send one bit of her to each one, well, that'll teach them, won't it? They'll be talking about this for centuries. And as you can see, that is what has happened. So I clearly did the right thing. And you know, I just hope one day people will think about this and see the righteousness of my ways. So if you want to check it out for yourself, Judges 19.